everybody. Welcome back to our podcast. I am Althea Rain.
Mahalo Smythe.
And Yuri Inoku.
And we are your hosts for Today Geek. For our next segment, let's talk about Hollywood and all of the upcoming movies and how insanely out of touch with reality they are. You know, you want to talk about out of touch with reality. Hollywood is out of ideas. They're appealing to foreign media, which is why we're getting all of these remakes and reimaginations and sequels that really are more meant for nostalgia bait and foreign markets. They're out of ideas for new stuff, except for one movie, Cocaine Bear, that has just come out and has been getting a lot of attention. I haven't seen it, but it sounds entertaining. But we'll talk about, there's a lot of other movies in the last several years that they've come out with that just aren't new at this point, if you think about it. There's a link that I am looking at for all-time box office hits by decade and year. In the last top 20s in the last few years, you have movies that are either sequels or, well, actually just, sequels or reimaginations of it. Like The Batman, that's another reimagination. Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Avatar, Way of the Water, Top Gun, Maverick, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Bad Boys for Life, Thor, Love and Thunder, Minions, The Rise of Gru. These are all movies that came out in the last few years that just, none of them are new. Top 2010s films. We have another Star Wars, several Star Wars, Incredibles 2, The Lion King live action, Beauty and the Beast, more like Feminist and the Beast, but I digress. Avengers, the Avengers Endgame, Black Panther, another Harry Potter one, Toy Story 3, Incredibles 2. The only new movie that hit the top box office between 2010 and 2020 was American Sniper. That's the only one that I can see that wasn't already in a way done.
Huh. And American Sniper is a really good movie, but none of those other ones, I don't remember any of them. But I do remember American Sniper. That was a really good movie. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if they're the top grossing movies because they're just the best options people had, or if they're the top grossing movies because the remake and reimagining model works.
Well, when you have Iron Man 3 show up as the top, as one of the top 2010s movies, I'm pretty sure that's just because enough people went to it that it hit the top 24 movies.
Yeah.
Because Iron Man 3, from everything that I've heard and read from people, Iron Man 3 sucked.
But people went out to go see it just because it was Iron Man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like the 80s were really the glory days, in my opinion, of movies. Like, just so many good movies came out.
Captain Marvel was number 17 in the top 2010s, and that movie did suck.
Oh, God.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi, that movie sucked balls, and that's in the top.
Oh yeah, it was really terrible. Isn't that weird? Like, okay, so that's an interesting point. Like, these are not good movies, but they're the top grossing movies.
Yeah.
But they're not good.
No.
So there's it's almost like there's an inverse relationship between releasing good movies and movies that make money.
The Lion King 2019 sucked as well. I hate that movie. And The Beauty and the Beast.
If you're looking at it right now, they're just focusing themselves with franchises. They have to have a second movie. They have to have a third movie. Like, they need to just make a movie that doesn't really require them to do that. That's probably why superhero movies are so overpopulated.
Yes, a number of them in the 2010s. between 2010 and 2020, we've got Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, Marvel's The Avengers in 2012. We've got uh, Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 3, Civil War. That's a lot of them from Marvel alone, and I'm not even mentioning yet Wonder Woman from DCU. That's a lot of superhero movies that made the top 10 or top 24. Sorry, my bad. Thank God that Ghostbusters didn't make it on there because that movie sucked. But a
Yeah, I
lot of
wouldn't
these
be
movies are
surprised at
just
all.
no. I would be if Ghostbusters had made it on there. I would have been because that one actually tanked. They didn't make their money back.
Oh well,
The
I
But
mean,
last one?
yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did make their money back. I guess is my point. But yeah, I see your point.
um, but you know the whole thing is if you look at like the top 1980s, between that decade. Yeah, okay, you did have a few repeats. You had Star Wars. But in 1980, and I hate that I even have to mention this movie because we've talked about this. I hate E.T., but it's up there.
It's a good movie.
No, it
Just because
isn't.
you didn't
No, it
like
isn't.
it, there's something wrong with
Mm-mm,
you.
mm-mm. Nope.
It's a
Nope.
good movie. I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies, like in the '90s, was I think it's in the '90s, The Fifth Element. I do
Oh, The
like
Fifth
that
Element
movie.
is great. I don't think it was on this list, but it's a really good
It
movie.
sucks. Yeah, it sucks that it's not on that list. It's like,
But in the 80s, we had E.T. Extraterrestrial. We had Back to the Future. We had uh Indiana Jones movies that came out. The first Batman that had Keaton in it. We had Rain Man, Three Men and a Baby, Fatal Attraction, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Gremlins,
Oh,
Rambo.
Gremlins was so good.
Oh god, I love Gremlins.
yeah.
1990s, we had Titanic, we had Jurassic Park, Lion King, Forrest Gump, Independence Day, Sixth Sense, I love that movie, Home Alone, Men in Black. Men in Black was good. Twister, Mrs. Doubtfire, Ghost, Aladdin, Saving Private Ryan. Like almost everything on this list. Almost. And I'm not saying everything. Batman Forever was not great. Uh
It's not great, but it made money, I guess. So yeah, I
The
agree.
Fugitive, Liar Liar, all classic movies there. But
Yeah,
Hollywood has nothing new. Not
yeah.
in the
All of
last two
those,
decades.
almost all of those are original movies.
That's what I'm saying. Like they all want the whole diversity thing. Instead of creating new characters, they just go and change old characters. And and I think that that just talks about why Hollywood's movies are failing so much. At least is my opinion in that regard.
And I've been
Like you
hearing
don't
that
need to
Ant-Man
change.
is not even good. Like they're not even working on quality for these movies anymore. If you
No.
look at the entire Phase 4 of Marvel, you have movies that are maybe high in budget but low in quality. I wouldn't
It is.
call any of the last four any of the movies from this one any good. You
Mm.
had Doctor Strange that was really bad, Morbius.
Oh,
You
that
had
was
I mean the biggest problem with Doctor Strange was how they tried to victimize Scarlet Witch when she was really the cause of this.
yeah, she's the villain.
You have Wakanda Forever, and a lot of people we talked about that one in a previous one with Mexican Iron Man having so many problems. That's still funny. Thor: Love and Thunder. That was a big miss. And now you've got Ant-Man 3 that doesn't even include all of his buddies from what Yori was telling me. We've got what was it that I was saying that I didn't want to watch? It was another one. I don't know off the top, but I wanted to watch Doctor Strange until I saw what it was like. And let's not even go into the TV series that they've been putting out and how woke some of those are, like She-Hulk, for God's sake.
Seen She-Hulk.
I won't. I watched Desparo go through it. Oh my god.
What's the problem with She-Hulk?
I will just put you through Desparo's videos so you can avoid that dumpster fire of a show. To put it succinctly, superheroes are supposed to be about, sacrificing, for the betterment of the world, right? She just wanted to be her, avoid any responsibility, all while screwing any man that walks on two legs. And then they even put. Have you guys ever heard of Doomcock? Overlord DVD?
Oh, yeah.
In one of the last few episodes of She-Hulk, she was being exposed by two people that looked suspiciously like Doomcock Overlord DVD.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. To the point where
Wow.
Doomcock even did his own video on it.
Even he's like, this is kind of sus.
This is not. He goes, everything that they did in this video, which they are trying to paint as what YouTubers are like, is not stuff that I would do. But but hey, thanks for the free publicity.
So not only did they like copy him, but then they totally misrepresented him.
Yes.
In the way they copied him.
Yes. But like you can tell when I was watching something. I was watching Desparo go through this with Revo, my husband, and even he goes, "Is that supposed to be Doomcock?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, this is supposed to be Doomcock. This is Overlord DVD."
I didn't know that they were like targeting YouTubers now with that type of stuff. So I would do what he said. I'd say things for the free publicity and leave it at that.
A lot of crap went down with that, and this is what we end up with. So you've got so much that Hollywood is doing right now. They're not coming up with anything new because they're out of ideas. Let's face it, they're out of ideas. We've got exactly one movie that I know of that's coming out that is different because it's not like the others, and it's Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, and I doubt that that's going to be winning any kind of awards. I doubt you'll see the Coke Bear cast at the Academy Awards receiving rewards for that movie.
But from what I'm hearing, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like it's a really good movie. I want to watch it. I'm not really into movies, but I really want to watch it. So
I'm down to watch that one.
List. So,
but all in all, we're really just tired. I think a lot of people are coming up with the same fatigue. I haven't been to the movies in over a year now. Before that movie that we saw last year, it was another at least couple years since we'd seen a movie because of all of the whole pandemic crap that came out.
Yeah, I think the last time I went to go see a movie was before the pandemic. I think in 2019, they were showing Poltergeist at the movie theater for Halloween, and that is the last movie I went to go see at a movie theater. I really wanted to go see Nightmare Alley when it came out because I love Guillermo del Toro. But none of the movie theaters in my area were showing it when I was looking to go see it. And so I just gave up on ever seeing it in the movie theater. And I'll probably rent it eventually. I haven't rented it yet. But that was the last movie I tried to go to, and I just couldn't because there was nowhere showing the movie I wanted to see, which is not even like it was a indie movie or anything. Like, it's a Guillermo del Toro movie. It's just no one was showing it because there were other Marvel movies and stuff out, and that's what they were showing in
Yeah.
the movie theaters.
I mean, there are some movies that might be interesting this year. Like I said, I have no interest in watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. I loved the first two, but I don't like this thing that they're doing where women can't do any wrong. Um, one of the characters is just like easily able to, like, his daughter is just as smart as him and Michael Douglas's character apparently, right? Like, she comes up with how to get back into the quantum realm or something like that. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in it. I'm not interested in any of it. But there might be some that I could watch this year if I see the trailers, but I don't even watch
The
that stuff
last
anymore.
movie, the last movie I saw on theaters was um the I got reincarnated as a slime movie because they just released it, and luckily the movie theater next to my house was showing it, so I was like, lucky, and just started like watched it, and it was like, yes. But other than that, nope, not any. And I think the one before that was the My Hero Academia last movie, so
They've
I'm
got
not watching.
Scream. They've got another Scream movie coming out this year.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna jump to go see another
I
formulaic
didn't.
Scream movie.
I liked the first three. Granted, the third one was the worst of the three.
3 was not good. I did not like 3.
I still liked it enough. I liked the idea of how it tied in, but it was definitely not in my top 10 favorite movies, horror movies of all time. But I would watch that one again over Scream 4 and Scream 5 any day. And Scream 6 is still going to have Courtney Cox in it, and Hayden Panettiere, who was in Scream 4, did not show up in Scream 5. And here's the
Huh.
interesting thing: Nev Campbell's not going to be in it.
Nev Campbell's not gonna be in it?
Nope.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense that like they might be tired of being in the Scream franchise.
Well, we're talking 6 movies on now. One movie that
Yeah,
I am looking forward to, unless it shows something that's really bad, what I'm really hoping is going to be a good movie this year is the Shazam movie. I liked the first Shazam.
Shazam was a good movie. I liked Shazam.
I mean,
So,
We've got
I
a
just
dungeon. We've got a Dungeons and Dragons movie coming out this year.
oh, that'll be cool.
It's gonna have Chris Pine, Hugh Grant, Michelle Rodriguez. Um, they've never done a good one before.
Don't know. I like Michelle Rodriguez, but she's not the best actress. But I still like her. I like the character she
I am looking
typically
forward to seeing
plays.
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
yeah.
Again, not original, but it'll be cool to see. So, if
Um,
you count the first Mario Brothers movie as a Mario Brothers movie.
they've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in this one. I'm not sure what to think of that. They've got another Fast and Furious movie.
Oh my
Oh
Jesus
God,
god, how many
Christ.
can there be? How
Too
many
many.
are there now?
I don't know.
this is number 10
How do you know that
Number
off the cuff?
10?
because on this one they're gonna bring back Brian, which is like they're gonna use Paul Walker's siblings again to
Oh
make his
God.
character come back.
Oh God, not to get off on that one and cut you off, but we've got another Transformers now coming up this year.
There should have never been a
Oh, the
Transformers movie.
Beast. I think it's the Beast one with
Ron
the.
Perlman is going to be in it.
Like Ron Perlman. But I'm not going to go see a Transformers movie. I haven't seen a Transformers movie since the first one because I thought the first one was terrible.
I liked the first 3,
So,
but I digress.
The first one, and then the. I don't know.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is coming in. That's a
well,
sequel.
is that a sequel? It's a sequel
was-
and a reimagining.
Not necessarily a reimagining. Not necessarily. If you really think about it, the Spider-Verse is all of the different universes wherein Peter Parker and Miles Morales and Spider-Ham and all of Gwen Stacy, they all
The
exist.
other Yeah.
So it's not a reimagination. It's just a different a part of the Spider Verse.
It's
We'll
just
just
a
go with that.
multiverse, basically.
Multiverse.
It's just a multiverse thing. Flash is coming this year, I
I was
think.
gonna say that one. They really shouldn't be doing this because Ezra Miller belongs in prison. I'm just gonna say that and
Mm-hmm.
leave it there. And we've got the other Indiana Jones movie coming out this year, which I'm not gonna see. Oh, another Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any of the. I haven't seen any of the Indiana Jones after 3. 3 was like not great, and like they just keep making new ones for some reason, and it's a shame.
We have an Equalizer 3 coming in September, The Nun 2.
Ugh.
Why was there a Nun 2?
What is Nun 1?
Yeah, I
Dune,
remember that one. That one is old.
The Marvels, Dune Part 2, another Wonka movie coming out this year.
What is this, a reimagining or a sequel?
Another reimagining of it. This is the origin story this time. Like I needed
They're
that.
not even like waiting a whole generation before they start reimagining stuff they've already made.
I have to say, as much as I miss Gene Wilder, I'm glad he's dead so he doesn't have to see this shit. I'm glad that he no longer has to see the shit that's coming out with his name originally attached to it.
At least we can rest pretty assured that there will never be a reimagining of Blazing Saddles, so his character in that is safe.
Don't say it. Don't say it. They're gonna do it next. You know it. Another
I don't think
Ghostbusters sequel this year. Another Aquaman this year. So, Legally Blonde 3 is coming out this year.
Because that's what I always wished that someone would make, is a sequel to the sequel of Legally Blonde 2.
Oh my god.
Or Legally Blonde.
No, I have no words. They have very little coming out this year that is actually not after something else. Most of the names of movies that I didn't mention are movies that I just don't know anything about, so I can't tell you what they are. So this is where we're at. Hollywood is out of ideas, and we're getting movie fatigue.
Yeah.
As pop culture as I am getting fatigued of all of the remakes, of all of the sequels, of all of the nostalgia bait. I'm tired of it.
Perfect world, what do you think? What do you think Hollywood should be doing right now?
I think they just
I'd
need
rather
to
them
explore new things.
I would rather them twiddle their thumbs up their own ass than what they're doing.
True.
And I'm not sure. Maybe they should look into books that are like 50 to 60 years old and ones that are not as common or whatever. Or remake movies that were bad and make them better. Like, if you look at all of the movies, we have thousands of movies over the last 30, 40 years. Thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of movies. I'm sure they could look at all of the movies that were complete and absolute dumpster fire failures, look at those movies and say, you know what could we do better about this and make it actually good? If you want to do remakes, take movies that weren't successful on the top box office in the last 40 years, take movies that were actually off the bottom tier, redo them and make them better.
Really good point. One of my, everyone wants to remake Wizard of Oz because it was like the successful one.
Fuck with the original. Do not fuck with it. Leave it alone.
But you know what I would love to see? I would love to see a remake of Return to Oz. Or how about make movies about all the other Oz books that there are? Because there's a bunch of them. It's not just Wizard of Oz.
They have a very good example of a remake. We talked about this during our remake segment. The Mummy, 1999. It was based on The Mummy from, like, what was it, the 1930s, 1940s, something like that. It was based off the original one there, and they took a completely new idea with it and ran with it. One of the best movies. One of my top 10 of all time movies is The Mummy, 1999, and it has a lot to do with the fact that I love Brendan Fraser, but I digress. I love that movie because they remade it off of a concept, changed everything up about it, made it its own thing, and it freaking did well. That's a good idea. Take movies that are 70 years old that didn't do so well. But
Movie
stop.
buffs would probably kill me, but like, why not remake Nosferatu? That's like
Oh,
one
I
of
was
the most
thinking about
classic
that
movies of
one.
all time. But there are a lot of people who are never gonna like watch Nosferatu because it's a silent movie and it's in black and white. Like, there's some people who
Right.
just never watch it because of that. So make it with sound and make it not black and white and remake that.
Right. Leave the classics alone and dig up the stuff that people didn't like back then. Take the ideas from those and redo them in a better way. Not for modern audiences, might I add.
Yeah.
Thanks for geeking out with us this week.
If you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe.
Stay tuned for our next segment.
Bye.
Bye.